Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett, and before we get into it, as Nebraska gets ready for their first road trip out to Maryland, we're brought to you by our good friends at Omaha Steaks. And let me tell you, walking through the tailgate lots, Sip, the last couple of weeks, you could just smell the burgers. You could smell the steaks, and I'm sure there were a lot of Omaha Steaks out there.
Through there?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you walk to the stadium, you can smell and taste the excellent Omaha Steaks burgers. And, we've made a lot of great Omaha Steaks burgers throughout the football season at our house. Some steaks I had last week, just mouth-watering, juicy steaks from Omaha Steaks, and phenomenal products. And we've got a great deal for our listeners here of Husker Online. If you want to get hooked up with some Omaha Steaks, the boxes are already marked down, a lot of them in cases 50% off. We've got a deal for $35 more off if you use the promo code HuskerOnline at omahasteaks.com. Again, use that promo code HuskerOnline. We're going to give you $35 off that order. And I can just see Sipple. He didn't eat lunch today.
Sean, I'm almost uncontrollably hungry, and there's a bunch of red meat on my screen, so you can imagine. Look at that.
Put an order in.
All right. Well, thank you to Omaha Steaks. Promo code Husker Online, again, $35 off. But let's get into it. First road trip, and the story early in the week has been about this travel plan. I mean, you've been around it a long time, Robin. You have as well. Nebraska obviously normally would travel for Friday for a lot of games. This, to our knowledge, is the first time they've ever left on a Thursday, and they've played games at Washington. They've played games at Oregon. They've played games at Miami. I'm thinking of long road trips. Take Ireland out of the picture. But your traditional road trips, they've never done this before. But this seems to be a trend in the Big Ten. Like Michigan's going to leave on Thursday to go out to USC. A lot of teams are doing that now this year.
Makes sense. It really makes sense. I mean, just even from a hydration standpoint, you get so dehydrated on planes. I mean, I'm just thinking pragmatically. If you want your players to be at their best, I mean, at their peak performance, it's going to be really hard on the road. So you do things to get them as close as you can to that. I think it makes total sense to leave Thursday. I don't like to make too big a deal of this topic because it's travel, but I'll tell you this: when rules just dropped into the conversation on Thursday or on Monday that they're going out there on Thursday, it made sense to me.
And this will be, I think, the only time they do that this year. And I think a lot of it is just the logistics involved with it. Like not only the time change, but just getting out there. Like Washington, we'll reference this, didn't get into like 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time.
What day?
On so they left Friday or whatever, Thursday. So they got in real late. And so that extra day of recovery, if for whatever reason your travel gets messed up or whatever, because they have to get to the airport and then there's another drive to where they're staying, like that's another hour on top of that. So like there's just a lot of layers involved that it just makes sense to give yourself more time. Like why jam everything into one day when you can spread it out just as easily and take less of a toll off your players?
It's interesting though that the Penn State trip they wouldn't do the same thing for, because it's almost an identical itinerary as far as the distance, other than Nebraska will have had a bye week. And who knows, maybe they will. I don't know if that's the plan.
Do they fly into Harrisburg?
No, I generally think you fly into State College.
That might be the answer right there, Sean. If you can just fly right in.
Right, because they can't fly into College Park.
Right.
Drive an hour.
That's probably the answer.
Depending on the size of plane you use. But yeah, I believe Nebraska would fly into State College. We're flying into State College. It's a smaller airport there, though.
I've never flown into State College on all the trips I've made there.
Game changer.
Is it? Always flying to Harrisburg.
One of the times Robin and I flew into State College, LeVar Arrington was on our flight with us.
Hello. The great Penn State former linebacker.
Yeah, and this Maryland trip for us, it's easier for us to get to Maryland than it is to get to West Lafayette. Because we're taking one flight.
Direct.
Okay.
Omaha to Reagan Airport, and it's a 30-minute cab ride or Uber ride to College Park.
Okay.
Right. Like that doesn't, I mean,
that's not bad for us.
So if we were to go to like West Lafayette, you fly to O'Hare and then you drive over 2 hours to get to West Lafayette.
This is not an easy drive.
This illustrates how much I'm taken care of by you guys. I didn't know we were on a direct flight.
Yeah, flying it, like then driving into
Show
Champaign.
up.
Like,
Maybe bring a suitcase.
yeah, bring your luggage this time, Sipple.
Yeah, I will.
Well, yeah, we've been out of the routine. I mean, 43
Right.
days at home, and
Forgot how to do
Kansas City I never looked at as a road trip.
No, not really.
It's like a weekend. I went to the Royals. It was like a weekend vacation.
It was like going to Omaha.
But yeah,
It's a tough game though.
There will be a lot of Nebraska fans on this trip, and I think Nebraska's caught a break that Maryland did lose last week. They blew a huge lead to Washington. Huge
That was
lead.
a sellout against Washington. So I mean, the fans
Was it really?
Yeah, the fans were starting to like get into it, and then they blow a 20-point lead with the final 18 minutes, 19 minutes.
Quarter and a half. Hey, I agree with you, Sean. If they had won that game, Maryland. If Maryland had won that game, there'd been a ton of momentum and a ton of energy in that stadium. And players like that, but there'll still be enough fans there to make it reasonable. You know, it won't be like going to Purdue when Nebraska first joined the Big Ten, and you wondered if there was even a game that
And
day.
Randy Gregory had like a 20-yard sack on the first play of the game on Danny Etling.
There's the
What a
memory.
game.
There's the memory.
Was it Danny Etling?
I'm pretty
Sounds right.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first trip out there. It was a
There
memorable
weren't many
Friday
people.
night ride.
There weren't many people out there at
No.
that game.
Now, we've had a few of the like Illinois. We've had a few trips like that where you go, and I would even say Rutgers a few of the times it's just not a big crowd.
Sleepy.
Well, you play there on a Friday night, and
Yeah.
the city crowd can't really get there very easily.
When we went to Maryland the last
2019.
time, 2019, it was sleepy.
It was
It was sleepy.
cold.
It
rainy.
rained.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 2:30 kickoff, but it seemed like a night game. I mean, it's so dreary.
Yeah.
Well, that time of year, especially in late November and daylight savings time has passed, it gets dark on the East Coast like 4:00.
Yeah, that's right.
It's freaky.
That's
Mhm.
exactly right.
Mhm.
There you go. Memories.
But yeah, we'll head out to Maryland and take the Husker Online postgame live show on the road. But this is a big stretch for Nebraska guys.
Oh God, yeah.
They have back-to-back road games. They're a 7-point favorite as of show taping at Maryland. Then they have to go to Minnesota on this Friday night game. So this it's kind of one of those gut check 2-week periods that could really define the road this season goes down.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, the month of October is defining it itself. But so yeah, it's so gettable. You know, the matchup's good here. I mean, this is a Maryland team that it's typically not going to kill you on the ground.
They don't run well,
Right.
and their quarterback's not mobile.
No, he's not mobile. He's rushed 11 times for 22
He's
yards.
slippery though. He doesn't get sacked.
Okay.
So he's got enough athleticism to where he's buying time in the pocket.
He's kind of slippery. I mean, he's 6'5", 220.
Robin, his long run in like
no,
Power
he's-
4 games
not
is
a volume
four games. He moves the pocket.
Yeah,
I
that's
see what
what
you're
I'm
saying.
saying. He's not a runner, but he's
Dante
mobile.
Culpepper.
He's mobile.
the only reason I invoked his size because I don't want people to hear slippery and think DeMond Williams. You know, like he's a
No.
big dude. This guy's a big.
This is
guy.
Jamarcus Russell, Dante Culpepper type quarterback. I mean,
But
if
yeah,
I were
you're
to,
right. He moves around well. I've seen him. He snaps it off really well. He's good. He throws a beautiful ball. And they have like 3 very good receivers, a good tight end. So you know what you're getting into, but they're throwing into Nebraska's strength. And Nebraska's strength as the secondary, as the weeks go on, looks more and more legit, right? It looks more and more legit.
to the point where John Butler dropped a Sorsby joke on me today.
What did he say exactly?
He said, "Aren't you going to ask me for a Sorsby update
Yeah.
or no Sorsby update?"
Or no Sorsby update from you. He wanted us, but he was joking. He just is proud.
Kind of.
I think he's very proud that Nebraska held Sorsby to 62 yards passing.
And he's been throwing for like 300 or 400 every game since.
I don't know if he got to 400.
He's been close to
Has
400.
he?
He's like 388 one game.
Was he? Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's played very well, and they're on the cusp of being ranked, right?
Yeah, they're ahead of Nebraska as far as the votes received, depending on how much stock you want to put into that poll.
Well, the AP poll, though, continues to lose a lot of credibility. You just see constant people
I
that
didn't pay attention.
do their own diagnosis of the voters and how they vote. And I mean, you can pick. I mean, that's why some people probably don't want to vote in it, because if you have one mistake on your ballot, you hear about it from.
Yeah, and that's a change. That's something that didn't happen 10 years ago. maybe not even 5 years.
You're like the topic of like your poll's like the lead topic of like Arkansas sports radio.
Right.
All of a sudden,
You don't want that.
You're getting phone calls to go on sports talk shows and markets that you have no affiliation with because you're bad AP poll.
Or, yeah, and you just maybe had a lapse, which you can,
We're going to bring Sipple on and just ask him why he's such an idiot.
Yeah, why did you rank NC State ahead of Cal? I mean, it's stuff like that.
Well, to be honest, I've never watched NC State play,
Right.
so I just put them on there.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, Butler and Holgerson on Tuesday were very interesting. I mean, my God, they were interesting, especially Holgerson.
Well, guys, we're going to dive into Dana Holgerson next. We'll talk offensive storylines as the Huskers head out to Maryland. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. And we're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washit, Husker Online Show, brought to you by Crani-Yum, the official energy drink of the Husker Online Show. Getting us through the day as we all were sitting through a 3-hour press session at Memorial Stadium, craving a Crani-Yum.
Mm-hmm. I need to start packing one for these days.
I actually, because my Sunday is such a long Sunday now. We have soccer practice and church, and we're up late, get up early, and I write. I took a Crani-Yum with me to my house to make sure I had one for Sunday.
You hammered it.
I did, and my energy at like soccer practice at 4 p.m. was elite.
He was like Bob Knight of soccer.
I mean, you would have thought like, whoa, Ted Lasso's here.
Ted Lasso.
But no,
5 calories is all this is.
Locally owned out of Fremont, comes in so many great flavors. No sugar, no artificial colors. It has nootropics for mental clarity.
God, you need that.
Moderate caffeine. Yeah, Simple and I, our conversations has become better. Like when we're not on Crani-Yum, we're usually all over the map.
Yeah.
And we kind of dial in a little bit more.
Sean's all over the map.
Yeah. It's always tell the shows when the Crani-Yum is flowing and when it's not.
But yeah, check it out. They're at Hy-Vee, a lot of other health stores. I know Elite Nutrition, other places like that carry it, or you can just go on their website, shop Crani-Yum. That's YUM at the end. Use the promo code HuskerOnline. They're going to give you 10% off. That's free shipping, and you can use that promo code over and over. It's not a one-time use. So if you like it, order it more and use the promo code again, Husker Online. You'll get 10% off. Thanks to Crani-Yum, the official energy drink of the Husker Online Show. But guys, let's get into the offense. Mm-hmm. You saw that period of the game last week. 25 plays, 19 yards. Dana Holgerson said he's had some moments like that, but not many. But it was a real testing moment that I think a year ago or 2 years ago, Nebraska maybe doesn't win that game, but the play of the defense obviously helped them.
And the
special teams gave them the field position advantage. So the other parts of this team lifted up the offense when we saw maybe one of the worst stretches that we've seen in terms of points, yards, etc.
He said, I hadn't been through a two-quarter stretch like that. And he said you could give a bunch of excuses, but at the end of the day, it's just executing. He doesn't mean that by that's not coach speak. He said it was he might have made a bad call at one point, or somebody got whipped, or somebody busted an assignment, whatever it was. You can pinpoint what went wrong on every single play. The thing is, like you said, Sean, he said nobody lost. The coaches weren't losing their minds, and the players hung in there. And then what happened?
Corey Barney, 45-yard pass.
Job, Rob.
Dylan stepped up, made the throw. Barney made the catch, and he pointed to that play. He said at that play, it was almost like you could sense that was creeping up, and then a spark happened on that play, where all of a sudden life came back to that sideline. So all that conversation Matt Rule's been having for the last 3 years about, that getting rid of that loser, here we go again mentality, that I think was starting to happen again.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what Dana said. He said, I wasn't here for a lot of that, so I don't know exactly what was going on, but you could sense it. And so there was a vibe on the sideline that was creeping back into that, here we go again, woe is me, we're going to lose type mentality. And they finally stepped up and made the big play against Cincinnati. They made the big play when that doubt was starting to creep in. That's the difference between this team and last year, is that last year those plays don't happen. This year they're happening.
All right, as we continue the discussion with the offense, this week, Maryland, again, will really test this offensive line. We saw the changes. Elijah Pritchett at left. They made the decision to go Gunnar Gatula at right, and they've used the word now multiple times this week. That's our future. So they obviously expect Pritchett to be back for a senior year, and Gatula still has 2 more years remaining in the program. So you get the sense like part of this move with these 2 tackles is they know that this could be the group for 2026 as well.
They'll be tested a lot. They'll be tested this weekend by Maryland. Maryland has 19 sacks. They're not. Listen, we're not going to do this thing. I'm not going to do it anyway, where I build up Maryland into something it's not. I've seen them. They're Maryland. It's Maryland. They have some. It's typical Maryland. They have a lot of good skill, good athletes. So there'll be some dragsters coming off the edge, and Pritchett and Gunnar. They're just huge in this game. Those tackles are so important because if they're not on their screws, it could derail the whole game. We've seen that a little bit in the last 2 games, Michigan and Michigan State, where Nebraska's given up a combined 12 sacks. Can't have that. You're playing with fire if you think you're going to go into every game and you think you can win allowing 5+ sacks. You probably can, but you're just playing with fire.
Well, and the turnovers too.
Yeah.
And so with that, though, yes, there's a lot on those 2 tackles, but it's on the entire offense because you look at every single layer of their pass protection, including the quarterback. It was a problem where the running backs weren't picking up blitzes, receivers weren't getting off the line against press man coverage, and Dylan, as Dana so eloquently said, was getting the crap knocked out of him and getting loopy, where he wasn't seeing the field the same way because he was too worried about the pass rush and he wasn't missing Dane Key running wide open downfield for a touchdown. Like all those layers.
On that play, Pritchett blew the block though. I mean,
yeah, well, I'm saying but that's one example of the pass rush affecting him even when he wasn't being sacked. So that is kind of where it comes down to. It starts obviously with the offensive line, but it's not just an offensive line problem. It's not like Pritchett, Gatula need to be better, then everything is fixed, because teams still know that if you press those wide receivers, it's hard for them to get off the ball.
You notice I stepped in there and defended Dylan though.
You did. Your guy.
Well, I mean, he's obviously the huge part of everything. I mean, if this team goes as far as his arm can get him. They need Dylan Raiola making those elite downfield throws. If they want to win on the road back-to-back weeks, what we saw Saturday, they can't play like that at Maryland.
Probably not.
Because Maryland is better, in my opinion, than Michigan State.
You think so?
I think they are.
Very comparable.
Nebraska was, the point spread is, if this game was in Lincoln, I wonder what the spread would be.
Probably be about the same as Michigan State, right? 11.5.
But
about 11.5.
It's a good matchup, and we'll hit on that with the defense. But running the ball, if they can just run it at more of a rhythm, and Dana said that. He's like, look, we have to get into a rhythm to be able to run it. And Emmett has ran it well.
He has. He's 3rd in the conference in rushing. He's tied for 3rd. So Justice Haynes is number 1. The USC running back, Waymon Jordan's 2. And Emmett's tied with the Washington running back. I think his name is Coleman for 3rd. Now, so these are tricky conversations. He's tied for 3rd in the league, but I think Nebraska's 14th in the league in rushing. So you can contour your stats to fit your argument.
Everybody else has 2 or 3 running backs rotating, and Nebraska has 1.
Right. And so Rule said it's silly to say we don't have a good running game. It's not totally silly. What you wonder is, okay, 1st and goal at the 7. If you like your running game, we'll see it. Right? Not 3 straight passes. So, and I don't want to nitpick. All I'm saying is I don't think you'd identify Nebraska as a run-first team. This is a team that's going to run.
As far as last week's concerned, they only ran 52 snaps. And so it's hard to lean onto the run when you're only getting that many opportunities. And so that comes into it. So, the early down success to set up those runs and not put yourself in obvious passing situations. But also, I do think as a play caller, it seemed like Dana was kind of letting Michigan State dictate how he called plays, where he didn't want to run into pressures, as he put it. And so they went away from the run game. And so, if they feel that good about the run game, there's got to be more of a commitment to it, to get yourself more snaps, keep your offense on the field, to develop that rhythm.
Now, Maryland has not shown to be a big blitz team. They've been their front 4 has been able to do it on their own.
Yeah.
But you wonder if they'll also blitz a lot. But I looked back, their last game, they maybe blitz like 25-30% of the snaps. They're not going to blitz it at the level that Michigan did. At least that's what their previous games suggest.
The other thing to watch, and Michigan State, I think, surprised Nebraska with more man-to-man coverage than Michigan State has shown. I don't know what Maryland does, but see that gets back to that discussion we were having last year. Can these receivers beat man coverage? And if you're in man, if a team is in man coverage, those routes can be a little slower developing, right? And you need a little more protection.
You're listening here to the Husker.
I just got out over my skis a little bit there.
You're listening here to the HuskerOnline show. When we come back, we'll talk black shirt defense as John Butler's crew had one of its most complete performances of the year. We'll hit on that next. You're listening here to the HuskerOnline show. And we're back here on the HuskerOnline show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett. Before we get into some defensive talk, this segment of the show brought to you by Ridge and Ridge Wallets. Great products. We're getting ready to head to the airport this week, and I'm in good hands because I got my Ridge wallet. It's slim. It carries everything I need. Gets through TSA, where the Sipple's wallet, whole nother story.
Oh, come on. My wallet. I need a.
Oh,
I do
show
need
your wallet. It probably
this is a
cost some
slim down
problems for
version
you.
too.
Show credit cards.
I'm not gonna show you my credit card.
But yeah, Ridge Wallets, phenomenal product.
There it is.
They simplify.
Whoa, that is
Look
big.
at that.
Look at that big
It's
thing.
sitting on a phone book.
Yeah, that you got back problems probably sitting on that thing. You need a Ridge in your life.
I do.
Sip.
I do.
My sciatic hurts looking at that thing.
I'm sorry.
But no, Ridge, they have great products, all different colors, teams, not just wallets, by the way. You can get luggage,
Okay.
keychains, rings, anything you need. A lot of it obviously travel based. And we've got a great deal with Husker Online. You're going to get 10% off with the promo code Husker. Just go to ridge.com/Husker. Use that promo code Husker, and we're going to give you 10% off your order at Ridge. And let me tell you again, I've been just blown away by my Ridge wallet and how easy it's simplified my wallet life.
You're pretty well put together over there, Sean.
Yeah, we need to get you figured out, Mr. Sipple. A lot of people have said that to you, I know, but
Oh my God. Yeah. All right, let's talk ball.
all right, well, let's get
Okay.
let's get into the defense. And John Butler,
Mhm.
we talked so much about Eckler this week. We talked so much about the offense, but the real story arguably was the defense and the improvements they made week over week. The schematical moves they did, personnel moves they did, and that looked like a well-prepared defense coming out of a bye week, and that's exactly what you'd want to see.
Got 4 sacks. I mean, I'd start the conversation there. The pressure on Childs was excellent.
20 pressures, season high.
20 pressures. And it really started from the jump. No pun intended.
In a low snap game, by the way.
Remember Javin Wright jumping the blocker and getting to the quarterback on the very first Michigan State series. And then what I thought was critical in this game was, so he got to Aiden Childs, Javin Wright, but then here comes 96. And 96 slammed Childs to the ground. That's the first series. I think that sent a message.
Mhm.
All right, this is what you're going to get all day. And you know what? That's what he got all day. They got to Childs. When they didn't sack him, a lot of times they hit him. And 96 is coming, guys.
Yes, he is.
96 is coming.
Shoot, he's here. After that performance, he had 6 pressures. 6 of those 20 pressures were from Williams Nwaneri, including 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hurries, and 3 stop tackles. Highest pass rush grade and second highest overall defensive grade for the game. That's what you want your 5-star top build transfer to do. Wreck games.
Yep.
He created havoc for Michigan
Remember
State.
in the spring, there was this kind of internal chatter, like he may not even be consistent enough to play.
Mm-hmm.
But that obviously got squashed right away in camp when Butler's like, he's going to play. He's going to play a lot for us. And now we're seeing
how many snaps? He played 52 snaps on Saturday, and you do the defense, right, Rob, on PFF. He's consistently been the highest lineman or one of the highest
I
linemen.
think the last 3 games.
Yeah, in terms of snaps.
Look at his arms on that video.
Oh, yeah. This is a dude now. I mean, this is the kind of guys you have to have in
Well,
this
McCullough is a dude.
McCullough coming off the other edge.
Head shotgun. How about David Hufkin out there in key
Hufkin,
snaps?
7 snaps or so. They're playing him in obvious run situations, right?
Just kind of as an extra big body.
Right. But now, since you mentioned it, Nwaneri on one side, McCullough on the other. That's what it needs to look like in the Big Ten.
McCullough was a beast too.
Yep.
I mean, he's been one of their most disruptive pass rushers since the jump.
You can see, you know what? We've watched a lot of football in our lives. I can see escalating confidence. I see it. You see it in number 15. You definitely see it in 96. You're seeing it up front. I think you see it with Petchak. I think you're seeing it with Judy even.
Yeah, Judy made the best play of his career.
Yeah, he was unblocked, but it was good. He slammed
he had
the guy.
The forced fumble against Michigan too.
Yeah, and Sean, to Sean's point, he knocked Charles out of the game for a few plays. That's big. So there you go. They played well. They played well up front.
What I like though is that combination on the edge, McCullough, Nwaneri. Then in the middle, you have Javen Wright and Vincent Shaver. So you kind of have like 4 dudes kind of patrolling the border.
Yes. And I'll tell you something. I don't know that Wright, I don't think I've seen Wright play a better game at Nebraska.
It was up there.
Yeah.
It was one of his best.
Yeah. 10 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss.
60 snaps, more than any other defender.
We don't talk enough about their speed. I mean, you remember the narrative, Nebraska in the Frost era, they're slow. They're slow. They're not slow. I mean, Nebraska's defense is really fast.
Got some speed now.
And, if they tackle, look out. And we've seen them tackle last week. I mean, that was one of their better tackling games.
I thought so.
We'd seen.
It's a lot of that is about what Butler describes as population to the ball. That's what you always look for in good tackling teams. I'm sure you look for that on Sundays from the Giants. How many guys are around the ball? And I thought they were pretty good that way against Michigan State.
Yeah, and so it was that. But then also guys were making the one-on-one tackles that they weren't making against Michigan. Javen Wright's was 6 of his 8 tackles were stop tackles. That means he is taking the ball carrier down by himself. And then, I mean, even on the perimeter, like Andrew Marshall, those back-to-back stuffs on the perimeter when like they kind of get into crunch time.
Oh God,
guys like that stepping up, making those one-on-one tackles, and that's the difference. I mean, obviously you want multiple guys flying to the ball, but you need your players to make the plays, and they made the plays on defense last week.
When the corners kind of missile in there and blow up those bubble screens, I equate that to like a sack.
Yeah, that's a good point, Sean.
I mean, it's like a sack.
100%. That's a good point.
It has the same kind of impact on the crowd. In fact, sometimes more.
Yeah.
When you see a guy time it out and you're watching it, like, here he comes.
Yeah.
And if they blow that thing up like Marshall did, I mean, that
back-to-back plays.
Back-to-back.
Yeah.
Set the tone. And then Lenhart got the finisher, right?
Yeah, Lenhart crunched the quarterback from the back. Just a classic backside sack. Well, blindside sack.
Surprised he held on to it.
Yeah. Marshall made those 2 plays late that were huge late. So, yeah, really. I mean, now somebody's going to say, Sipple, we guys talking about this defense. They gave up 27. They did.
Their offense didn't do crap for 2 quarters, and they had to battle in there and dig in the trenches for 2 quarters.
Good point.
With the offense having the wind at its back too, so they were at that disadvantage too. So like, I thought that was the reason Nebraska won. Obviously, the special teams made game-changing plays, but the consistent play of that defense. I mean, they gave up some scrambles to Childs, especially when Michigan State kind of got going a little bit. But overall, they kept the game within reach. As the offense figured out whatever they needed to figure out, the consistent play of the defense was the only reason Nebraska even had a chance to win that game.
And Michigan State offense really hadn't been the problem for them. It had been bad defense. Their offense is not great, but it's not that bad. Childs is good. That running back, Mekhi Frazier, good. They had 2 or 3 very good receivers. So, exemplary performance by the defense.
And I think they have a good matchup this week. Yeah. Non-mobile quarterback who's a freshman.
Okay.
And not a running game. They've not had a running back go for more than like 60-some yards in a game this year. So for John Butler with this freshman quarterback, you can really kind of try to cloud him up with some looks.
And then get 15 and 96 in his head early.
And you got to believe an NFL guy like Butler, who spent all that time, he
knows what to do.
He's going to come out with some pictures to try to get his mind thinking.
Yep, he knows what to do. Yeah, it's a good, to use the word again, picture. I think Nebraska. I mean, you switched the conversation. We're on defense, but it's all about, to me, it's how Nebraska handles their pass rush. And Maryland's probably saying a little bit the same thing. How do we handle their pass rush? Because it looked pretty good against Michigan State.
All right. When we come back, Abby Barmore, she's at volleyball. So I'm taking the mailbag, guys.
Okay.
And I'll bring the mailbag to you next. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. We're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut, and the mailbag, Abby Barmore at volleyball. So I'm going to do my best to play Abby. But before we do that, we're brought to you by our newest sponsor here at Husker Online, First Interstate Bank. At First Interstate Bank, we have a limited time offer that we want to share with you from now until November 21st. We want to give you up to $600. It's easy. Simply open a new checking account, savings account, or even both online at your nearest branch today and use the code FALL25BONUS, and you can put up to $600 in your wallet. You deserve it. To learn more, visit firstinterstatebank.com/fall25bonus. Subject to eligibility requirements. First Interstate Bank member FDIC. Again, get $600 in your account by opening up a new checking or savings account. Thanks to First Interstate Bank. Sipple's like, there's a branch right outside our office, by the way. You want to ride over there after?
You're out of your mind.
Do you want me to take you over there for a ride?
No, I'm good. Thanks. So, but it's a good deal for sure.
Hell of a deal.
Yeah, it is.
I might just go over there and get one going for Robin.
Let's go.
He looks out for his employees.
Yeah.
Got a Christmas bonus for you guys, $600 each.
Let's go. Put it in my Ridge wallet.
He's got to open up a new cabinet first. It's on me.
Thank you.
Let's get into
Very benevolent, boss.
the mailbag. Guys, what concerns you more, Maryland's conference-leading sacks or their interceptions? And I'm going to say they're sacks because I think interceptions are a product of pressure.
Yeah. And
well said,
when
Sean.
Dylan makes mistakes, it's when he's under pressure trying to do too much. So I think I agree with Sean. It's a byproduct of pressure when the turnovers happen. And right now, there's probably not a bigger concern on Nebraska's roster right now than their ability to, one, protect the quarterback, but then the rest of the operation to help the offensive line.
Huge game for Dylan. It's a bounce back type game. I don't know what Dylan said at the podium, but Holgerson said that he knows he didn't play that well. He didn't say that. He said everybody knows he didn't play that well. But he didn't play that well. He needs he'll bounce back though. And you know what? He did a lot of good things in that game, including the throw that we covered. He made the throw of the game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's next question in the mailbag. What is the magic number of rushing yards for Emmett Johnson versus Maryland? The magic number needed to win this game.
So he ran for 83 against Michigan State. I think it's probably in that range.
80 to 100?
Yeah. I'll even play more conservative. I'll say 75.
So you don't think they need to run it that much?
Well, I don't know.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I don't think no. And again, I need to see a commitment to the run game to think that it's going to be much more than that at this point. I just don't know. The volume's got to be there for him to get to that.
Hey, go ahead.
It's going to be a big reception game for him. If the pressure of their front gets into Nebraska, that's a lot of checkdowns.
I think all-purpose yards is probably a better number.
He had 6 catches versus Michigan State in a low snap game.
Yeah, I think he needs to get to about 130 all-purpose.
Yeah,
he could have 8 catches in this game.
Yeah. What else do you do? I mean, Holgerson mentioned that when he was talking about the fact they didn't run very often against Michigan State. That there was a lot of when there's pressure. One way to combat pressure is screen plays. What else? What else do you do?
You get hit it over the top. When they're bringing extra guys into the box, you can try to hit the middle of the field, but again, you need the line and to hold up and the backs to pick up blitzes well enough for those plays to develop. So it's kind of
quick slants.
We didn't see hardly any slants. We saw the tunnel screens, but we didn't see the slants.
All right, next question. What are the challenges of the first true road game as Nebraska? Their first game on the road is Arrowhead Stadium. Obviously, that was almost more of a home game than Memorial Stadium as far as the crowd noise and the atmosphere.
The challenges, I don't know that there's anything unordinary. I mean, you're not going to play Ohio State at night. We're going to Maryland. I don't think there's any massive challenges. It's a long trip.
The focus.
Okay, that's a good way to couch everything, pretty much. Focus, yeah.
I'm not even worried about the travel because they're going a day early. So
Right,
no
that helps.
adjusting to the time change, blah, blah, whatever. They're going a day early. So
Mhm.
hopefully that'll be moot.
Mm.
Yeah, 2 nights in one bed versus one night is unique, but I think there's a lot of science behind that, hey, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They're a veteran team. They're at least good enough veteran leaders that I think they know what to expect and are going to be able to help the young guys kind of do what they need to do.
You don't think that crowd noise will be a major issue? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think there's going to be a lot of Nebraska fans there.
All right. Another question here on the offensive line.
Okay.
How does the matchup between Pritchett and Maryland's edges look? And the Terrapins have a couple of really high-level edge players, guys. I'll give you some numbers on that. But clearly this will be one of the things. And I never look at it as a pure physical thing for Pritchett. To me, it's an assignment deal. It's a mental thing.
100%. There's nothing that limits him physically. Nothing. He's a beast.
So their two edges, Sidney Stewart and Zaire Mathis, have a combined 37 pressures.
And are those younger guys?
I believe they are. 6'2", 255 is Sidney Stewart. I don't have a year on him.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then let's see.
It's only Tuesday.
Zaire Mathis is 6'6", 222.
Oh, hello. They'll look good. I mean, it's a big challenge for Gunner and Pritchett, and that's who they'll roll with, it looks like.
And then they have an interior guy, Cam Rice, 6'2", 303. He has 13 pressures.
Mm-hmm.
Still blows my mind that Pritchett and Gattulo were Nebraska's highest graded offensive linemen in that game.
And then Michigan State.
So, I mean, like, again, I think that they kind of were the easy players to blame for Nebraska's pass protection issues, but it goes beyond them because, obviously they had their miscues, but beyond that, apparently, according to PFF, they played pretty well.
Well, holding the ball, maybe your depth of the drop, like was Dylan going too deep on his drop to the point where he's in the rush lane where, they're going to grade you properly sliding up in the pocket.
Right.
I mean, there's things that we don't really know.
Yep. Oh, God, yeah. And then missed assignments by running backs they talked about. Mm-hmm. One missed assignment by a running back.
Yeah, well, Dana blamed one of the sacks on the running back not picking up the blitz. So,
right.
Again, there's more than just better tackle play.
All right, and the final question here, as I fill in for the famed Abby Barmore, if you could choose any player in Nebraska football history to watch a game with, who would it be and why?
You guys go first.
Is this dead or alive?
Ooh, okay.
Or do they have to be alive? Like, am I watching a game with them tomorrow?
Let's say alive.
Alive? Okay.
Alive.
I mean, I'll take the low-hanging fruit. I'll take Will Compton.
Okay.
Just because I think it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, he's fun to watch. I enjoy
just you and
his
Will
brand. Yeah.
Do you think Will's ever alone with anybody?
No, that'd be the other
his
part.
Kids.
Of it. Like it'd be like with that whole crew over there. And
yeah.
They clearly have a good time. So I could see myself enjoying watching the game with him.
Uh-huh.
How about you, Sip?
Oh, Farley. Terrell Farley, 100%. I love Farley. He's I work at that radio station part-time, do a show with the ticket, and Farley's always there. Terrell Farley is hilarious. He knows football really well. There would be great food. He cooks. I love Terrell Farley. I'd love to watch games with him all day long.
I think it'd be fun to watch with like a Zach Taylor or a Jake Peete, somebody that's like a high level coach.
Jake Peete.
Well, like an NFL.
Oh yeah, you invoked a good one there. Yeah.
Just to hear what they say.
Oh God, yeah.
Not even talk, but just like hear what they're saying about what's going on.
You're not going to talk though.
Zach Taylor, like somebody like that.
Pete's is a good one. I love that one. Those guys think at a high level.
Like as they're just the things you would pick up from them.
Oh, it'd be amazing. It would be amazing. Jake Pete's. I mean, Jake Pete's has been an offensive coordinator in the NFL for a long time. I guarantee you, he sees things that we'd never even dream of.
There was a time when Ron Brown was out of coaching here, when Bill Callahan was the coach. I sat by Ron Brown for a whole season in the press box.
You did?
Yeah, he sat in row 2 of the press I think it was pre-Robin, obviously, but just sitting by a guy like that during a game was like freaky to me, knowing that he had been a part of all these national championship teams, and he's 1 year removed and he's sitting right next to you in the press box.
And George Darlington's up there, and there's no
Milt
doubt
was up there for years.
If you sit by a guy like that, they definitely see things we don't.
Oh yeah.
Of course they do.
Oh, and George is blunt.
Yeah, George is blunt, but incredibly knowledgeable. I mean,
So
season.
if I'm not hanging out like having a party with Will Compton, I'm going to want to go with a coach or a quarterback, someone that just has a vastly better understanding of the game of football than me. That
Joe
can teach
Gans?
me. I want to learn something when I'm watching.
Joe Gans.
Yeah.
That'd be excellent. That'd be because Joe's got such a good personality.
He's at Middle Tennessee State now.
Joe would be excellent. He'd be fun too.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, quarterbacks are easy to go with. I mean, but yeah, some of those guys are, just no brainers.
Yeah, Farley's a no-brainer to me because I think that food would be really good.
How would you like to sit with Jason and
Jason would be fun.
Jason and Christian Peter?
Yeah,
together?
that Jason would be super fun. Yeah.
All right.
That's a
good question.
Yeah.
When we come back, it's a huge week in the Big Ten Conference. We'll give our thoughts on last week and dive into what this week looks like. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Final segment here of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washa. This segment brought to you by Rocket Money. And if you're not familiar with Rocket Money, it is a great service that really helps you organize what money you're spending each week, particularly with all your subscriptions and all the things that you have going on. And the best part about Rocket Money is they give you the option to help negotiate and get better rates. Like if they look at what you're paying for your cable bill, or they look at what you're paying for specific services and subscriptions, their team and people will negotiate and try to help you get a better rate, with some of the different things that you have, and just trying to save you money. That's really what Rocket Money is all about. And you get to the point you're subscribed to so many things, you don't even know what you're subscribed to. And that the point of Rocket, they really lock it all in on one page, and it tells you exactly how much money you got going out each month to all the different things that you're subscribed to, and helps you build that better budget. Go to rocketmoney.com/Husker. We got a great offer for you. Again, that's rocketmoney.com/Husker. Thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Show. But let's get into the Big Ten. Last week, Illinois took down Purdue 43-27. I mean, Purdue played them tough. That was in West Lafayette. Michigan 24-10 winners over Wisconsin. That score, in my opinion, made that game look closer than it probably really was. I mean, I felt like Michigan had control. Northwestern beats Louisiana Monroe 42-7. But arguably the story of the weekend was UCLA, led by 33-year-old offensive coordinator Jerry Neuheisel, who literally had 2 days to put in a game plan, out-schemed the highest-paid defensive coordinator in college football at Penn State.
Jim Knowles,
42-37. Obviously, Washington, Maryland. Washington won that game 24-20. Then Ohio State hammers PJ Fleck 42-3. But I want to go back to UCLA, Penn State. That was the story of college football. And, Tim Skipper is technically the interim head coach, but you never would have known that because everything you saw after this win was Jerry Neuheisel was the head coach of UCLA.
Yeah, there's some nostalgia there, right? His dad coached there. His dad's all, his dad's on Sirius.
Well, Jerry played there too.
Yeah, Jerry played there. So his dad is so prominent. I mean, you don't have to qualify. You don't have to say arguably the best story of the weekend. I mean, that's one of the biggest stories of the past decade, that Penn State went in there and lost like that. Mm-hmm. It's a completely unforeseen. Nobody picked that.
Hollywood script almost.
Yeah, bizarre. And now, of course, James Franklin's in severe hot water, I'd say. And
it's like a pretty significant ripple effect that could potentially come from that game alone.
Yep.
Who's paying the $56 million is my question.
So the $56 million you're referring to is a buyout for James Franklin. I mean, I don't know. It kind of goes without saying, but you got to pay him $56 million, and you're not bringing in a bargain basement staff. Now you're gonna have to pay them a zillion dollars too. Where does all that come from when you're also paying the players?
Could it even be staff shakeups too? Like not a Franklin decision, but like, does he have to make some moves with his staff to try to tone down the mob?
How about Jim Knowles, by the way?
Yeah.
Jim Knowles leaves Ohio State, which, by the way, has the best defense in the country. He leaves that for Penn State, and now he's in trouble. I mean, that's like almost like a Nico level bad move.
Great. Why did he leave Ohio? Like
contract, maybe issues with
was
Day.
There the Michigan loss? Was there some did it get so ugly after they lost to Michigan?
He left before the national title parade. I mean, something wasn't something. I mean,
Yeah.
we say something wasn't right. Right.
It was not strictly a business decision.
No.
There was, I'm sure, some other layers to that.
What an awful, wow. Man. And I'm telling you, Ohio State's defense holding Minnesota to 3. Minnesota scored on its first possession, I believe. I didn't think Minnesota would score in that game. That's how confident I was in Ohio State's defense. I thought they'd throw a shutout.
Good year for Nebraska not to have Ohio State.
Oh, God, their defense,
No
Robin,
doubts.
I'm telling you, it's the best I've seen there. It is ridiculously good.
Well, they made a statement right out of the gate against Texas,
Yep.
and they haven't slowed down since.
And then Washington.
Yeah.
Shut down Washington out there.
But Penn State could be 6-4 when Nebraska plays out there.
It could.
6
Game's going to go from 6:30 NBC to an 11 a.m. Big Ten Network game.
Nebraska might have a better record. They probably will have a better record than Penn State.
Yeah, it's not going to be
Rob?
easy no matter
Rob?
what.
I'm pumping the brakes a little bit on that. They're still one of the most talented rosters in the country.
Penn State has Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan State.
They have it's the schedule, Rob. They just got a
agree.
terrible
I agree.
schedule.
Back-to-back road games. They have to go that game at Iowa because Aller's a good matchup for how Ferentz plays defense. That will be Iowa will muddy that thing up.
Yeah. This is trouble.
All right. This weekend though, we got a full slate, 9 Big Ten games.
Great ones too. Great ones.
We get Friday night, Rutgers, Washington. That
It's
was
right there is good.
that was a Friday night game last year. So
It's pretty good.
at some point in DC or Maryland, we'll be watching that
We'll
game.
be locked into that one.
Okay. Okay.
Then you'll have Ohio State at Illinois.
Big.
That's big noon kickoff.
It's really a monster game.
In Champaign.
It's a 14.5 point spread, but Bielema at home. You already got the win over USC. UCLA is a 8.5 point dog at Michigan State.
I mean, it's not a huge game nationally, but for us, it's very interesting, right?
Sure.
Having just seen Michigan State.
Sure.
Yeah, will that story of Jerry Neuheisel continue, or will it kind of wear off like a, Mickey Joseph type story at Nebraska? Where
Yeah.
you kind of fall in love with the interim guy for a week or two, and
Yeah.
then kind of reality hits in.
Yeah.
That's what we don't know.
Mhm.
The big game though, Indiana, Oregon, CBS, 7.5 point spread.
Oof.
I believe that opened up initially at 14 points, and it's gone down to 7.5.
The Kurt Signetti described Dan Lanning as a young coaching phenom. Young coaching phenom. I guess that's what Lanning is, right? I
Yeah.
think so.
I mean, he's
It's a
even
lot
coveted
to
for
say.
NFL jobs. He's the real deal. And you see all the stuff that came out of the Penn State, the way that the psychology that he played with his team leading into that whiteout. He's like, you got 100,000 people that aren't going to take a snap. They're not going to run a play. They're not going to make a tackle. It's you versus them. And I was fired up.
I'm
I was
fired
ready
up
to
right
strike.
now.
Let's go.
Thank you, Rob.
Northwestern at Penn State. That's interesting in the sense it's a 2:30 game, just the hangover effect. And
Yeah.
if there's any kind of first, second quarter struggle for Penn State, it will get the empty seats in State College. That's one thing to watch, and also the booing and the ugliness.
Yeah, just the murmurs, yeah.
Just the disgruntled East Coast
Right.
sports fan.
Oh, can you imagine if they're struggling with Northwestern in the first half, what people are going to be saying to Franklin?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
There'll be altercations.
It's a rough week in Pennsylvania. You had the Phillies go down 0-2 to the Dodgers. The Eagles got beat.
It's really too bad.
good point.
And now in Penn State, it's a rough. Sports talk radio there thrives.
Oh God, and they don't hold back.
Yeah, they're not even happy when they win.
Well, it's kind of like in Nebraska. Sports talk radio thrives in Nebraska, and the message boards thrive when they're losing because the drama.
Yep.
Mhm.
Think of the drama there.
But when they win and there's no drama, that's why sports talk radio wasn't around when Osborne was the coach. There was no drama.
right,
They won.
God,
Iowa, Wisconsin. That's an intriguing game. It's in Madison. Wisconsin's a 3.5 point dog.
okay, fierce rivals.
6:00. So we'll be able to follow that after the game.
Now, there's
Gronowski's practicing.
What's that?
He's been named Gronowski for Iowa.
Oh,
quarterback.
he is.
He's practicing. He's been named the captain for this week. So
Okay,
it sounds like he is trending in the right direction to playing in that game.
The over-under in that game is 35.5.
The question is, can he run the way that he needs to run for Iowa to do anything offensively?
35.5, which is about as low as you'll see.
Michigan at USC is about as good as it gets in terms of those colors being together. And then I've heard that game is sold out.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan will have a lot of fans there, and
travel.
Huge game for USC. You know, it's a big game for Notre Dame too, because Notre Dame needs USC to get more relevant. Because for Notre Dame, that's their only opportunity to get a nice win.
It's big for Michigan too.
Big for Michigan
because Michigan's
playing for a playoff spot.
Right. They're probably now back to what you would say the fourth best team in the Big Ten right now. Right.
Yeah.
They're back in that. They slid a little bit, but now they're back at 4.
And then Purdue, Minnesota is the BTN night game.
Yeah, no thank you on that.
That's kind of a check your phone game.
Whatever, scout Minnesota.
Check the game. That's a check the score on your phone game.
Yeah. I'll need to watch
your TV won't be going to channel 24.
No,
I tune into that after the post game.
I don't I mean, I legitimately don't mean that as disrespect to those programs. It's just not a very enticing matchup.
That's why it's buried at night on the BTN network.
I mean, Nebraska plays Minnesota 6 days later, so let's
I'm not disrespecting them. Yeah, Scout.
Yeah,
I've seen a little bit of Minnesota, though. I'll tell you, I'm not disrespecting them. They hit the hell out of you on defense. They do. Mm-hmm. But they have what Sean loves for Nebraska. They have a stationary quarterback.
Big target.
Stationary.
All right, guys. Well, fun week. We're traveling. The show will be on the road this weekend, so make sure you join us for Husker Online post-game live, probably about an 8 p.m. Central Time start this week on the road.
Okay.
If you're not familiar, it's our post-game show. We put it on our podcast channel, but stream it live on YouTube, and it's become the most popular, most engaged piece of post-game content anywhere, and we love doing it. We've continued to get record numbers of super chats, so keep bringing them, and we get them on the air.
Gabe.
Yeah.
Gabe. Teddy.
Sit this one out, Teddy and Gabe.
No, you can join us.
It's actually become part of the show.
Sean's just got to be on his screws.
Hey, you've been getting a lot of credit, Sean, for your thorough vetting of some of these names.
I don't know. You had a couple major.
You've been harder to get.
You had a couple major slip-ups.
The best is when I get one wrong and Sipple just loses it.
One got by both of us the other night, which was concerning.
Yeah.
Well, join us on the road again for Husker Online post game live. For Steve Sipple, Robin Watchet, I'm Sean Callahan. That wraps it up here for Husker Online.